tried to tell my aunt that her brakes were metal on metal when there's 70% of the brake pads left. They also told her she needed 4 new tires because her tires were low on tread. These Firestones with 7/30 seconds left.
Hello, it's Mechanic Link, and she is that tool girl on TikTok. We've been mutuals for a number of years now. 100% she knows what she's talking about. Those brake pads were not metal on metal. Those tires were just fine. And whichever mechanic made those recommendations, they are in the wrong.
Needed it. We told them it needed this work, but we weren't going to actually do any of the work it didn't need.
If we'd done it, we wouldn't have done what it didn't need.
I understand what that service writer is trying to say. I believe what he meant to say was, we made a recommendation. And if we found that our recommendation was wrong and not needed, then that service would not be completed. And to me, that's 50-50. Sometimes you get, boss, this $200 cable is going to take me an hour to put in. I don't need that. All I need is this little $3 bushing in 10 minutes. We'll save the customer a bunch of money that way. So maybe if they realize nothing's wrong, then yeah, they won't perform the service. But on the other hand, I've also seen, I don't care if the brake pads are at 70%. The customer is always right, and the customer wants these new brake pads. Yeah, unnecessary services sometimes will get pushed through.
It's not the first time that sometimes they miscall something.
Oh, okay, so it's a reoccurring problem.
Mechanics are human, and sometimes we make mistakes. Just some make more mistakes than others. Mechanics, back me up on this. We've all peeked through the wheel and said, yeah, I can see the brake pad from here. Yeah, there ain't much left. It's like as thin as a credit card. And then finally when you get the wheels off and you get a good look at it, turns out that they're perfectly fine. Shamefully, I admit I have made this mistake. I knew better then, I know better now, and I'm not going to repeat the same mistake.
But you guys are the ones that said it needed the parts, and so those expenses were incurred because of...
I'm not paying for your parts. You don't put parts in without verifying the problem yourself. Ever. If you don't order...
Alright, so this is the one time I'm hesitantly siding with the service writer there. Hear me out. The mechanic and the service writer made recommendations. And rather than having the services done at the shop, the customer is comfortable performing those services at home. So the customer purchases all those parts online or from a store, and turns out that they're not needed. And for whatever reason, maybe some of those parts are just not returnable. The service writer is correct. You need to verify the problems before making expenditures, even though you already have the opinion from the professional. When work is done inside the shop, it's controlled and contained. If someone is wrong, or there's a mistake, or something breaks, those problems can be controlled in-house. But when transactions and work are done outside, you can't expect the shop to be held liable for things that are outside of their sphere of influence. So now you got two people that are red in the face staring at each other.
I'm sorry, what? Are you blaming me for believing you?
Maybe they are blaming you, but I would never phrase it that way. I would want it to be interpreted as, I made a mistake, and I have an opportunity to fix that mistake. However, because work was done outside of my shop, that opportunity was no longer available for me.
But do you know what he is going to do about it?
Oh, 100%. Like I said, I will talk to my guys about this.
Problem not solved.
Whatever trust she had with that shop is gone forever. You lost a customer, especially when she is informed enough to know you made a mistake. And to make things even worse, she will never know whether these recommendations were made because of a mistake, whether they were made out of lethargy, or if they were made maliciously because you run off of commission. In truth, that doesn't matter because she and everyone else are automatically going to think the worst. Everyone makes mistakes, but come on, that was pretty egregious. Like, you should feel a pit in your breadbasket for that one.